A very good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all the viewers out there and amazing, beautiful women out there who are watching this. And I really want to thank you because I've been getting lots of positive reinforcement that, we all are getting inspired by these lovely women out here who come here, who share their journey and inspire all of us. The whole idea of Parulem, when I started almost a year back, I myself was not knowing. I came out of my comfort zone. I was not at all a technology person. YouTube was the last thing that I'll start a channel. But I started with this thought process only that can I come out of my comfort zone? Can I really push myself? क्या होगा? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कुछ गलत हो जाएगा. What's the big deal, right? With that, I started this channel and I had this whole idea that, instead of celebrating womanhood for one day, why don't we celebrate womanhood for life? And with that thought process, I got this lovely, lovely, beautiful people around who have been fantabulously, inspiring to all of us. And they have been forthcoming in sharing their journey, their struggles, what did they do to come out of it. So without taking much time, you can see a lovely face out there wearing my favorite yellow color, Shazia, who is right here with us. And she's another woman who is doing something different. As you know, the name of this program I have given Zara Hatke, right? Figuring out opportunities and creating possibilities is what I believe. So, Shazia, thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you so much, Parul, for having me. And I think it's a pleasure always to talk to people, who are so energetic. And you know what you're trying to do is great here. Trying to find people, curate, those ideas, and bring them out in the open. For a lot of people to just listen and follow by. So thank
Right.
you.
Thank you so much. And yes, that's as I said, that the whole idea is, so many times we sit in our cocoon and we think, yaar, ho nahi paega. But when they listen to lovely people like you and so many other guests who have come earlier, everybody had some share of struggle. Everybody, some point thought, okay, I'll give up. Yeah. But they did something. Some switch happened and they were able to move on. So, without taking much time, Shazia, we love to know more about you. Where are you from and what exactly are you doing?
Yeah, so let me keep it very simple and brief. I stay in Bangalore currently and I run a startup. As you can see behind, not all of it, but it's called Upcyclo. We spell it as upciclo.com.
Mhm,
And the objective with which I started is that we wanted to make sustainable living more affordable and
mhm,
also accessible, so ease of access and convenience to the customers, for the sustainable products is what our
correct.
objective is all about.
Mhm,
We promote only healthy lifestyle. We promote things that do not harm the environment. They do not harm your wellness. They do not harm your health any further. And I
okay.
think the key thing is that we are also trying to educate our people alongside, while
All
we
right.
actually propose different products. So today
Mhm,
morning when you get up and you brush your teeth or you do your daily chores, you go to your kitchen, maybe make a cup of tea or cook
mhm,
something.
mhm,
We are trying to bring about that change in people where you think what you're cooking in, you think
mhm,
what you are really consuming. So it
mhm,
is not just about what you really intake as food directly, but this is also an indirect impact in the vessels you cook in, etc., and how are they, for example, harming your organic food that you're buying today.
mhm.
But because you're cooking in a chip non-stick,
Ah,
it's making it worse, right? So
oh,
I think that key thing is about getting people educated about why are we promoting what we are promoting.
wow.
And
Okay.
most importantly, it is also the fact that I live a sustainable life myself. I mean, at least I try to, right? So somewhat sustainability is what I'm trying to achieve here.
Mhm,
Um, and I just want that everyone can do it. I think
right.
it's very simple, it is easily achievable.
Right.
And on my personal side, of course, I was working in corporate for almost 20 years before I started, my
Okay.
pension.
Okay.
This is a COVID baby, so
Okay.
we
Good one.
actually, yeah, I had a good time to think about what is that I
Mm,
wanted to do.
very
I
nice.
lived abroad for a few years, and then when I moved back, I realized I'm done, working. I
Mm,
need to do But I
Right.
think lesser said, when you quit a 9 to 5 job, you
Yeah,
think you're
yeah.
quitting a job, but this is a 24/7 job actually.
Right.
So it's not easy. If somebody is
Yeah.
thinking that, oh, you know
Hmm.
what, I'll open up my business and
Hmm.
things will work out hunky dory, I'm sorry, you are in a wrong place
Hmm.
altogether. This is
Hmm.
much, much harder. But it gives you a high, it gives you that
Hmm.
enticing
Right.
feeling, and it gives you the objective to achieve something much higher, much greater.
Right, right. As you rightly said, Shazia, and again, the whole the topic what we are talking about is Zara Hatke, and all about how we create opportunities from and really embrace possibilities. And as you rightly said, I love the term what you said, COVID baby. Right, when COVID came, so many of us, yes, we were emotionally, mentally, business wise, work wise, were really hit. But I am
Yes.
seeing, as the time has passed by, it has gone in the past, and so many of us and so many ideas became a possibility only because we gave a bit of time to self, because otherwise we were in a रट रेस रशिंग रनिंग समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था, बस भाग रही थी सारी जिंदगी और सारी दुनिया फॉर दैट मैटर. सो आई थिंक कोविड हैज टॉट अस वन थिंग कि कोई भी मैक्सिमम आप कॉर्नर में घुस गए हो एंड यू आर पुश टू द वॉल, but sometime from there an opportunity can come which can really transform your life. And that's what happened with Shazia, as she's saying that it's a COVID baby. And of course, 20 years of experience, whether whichever field she was working, that experience itself will help her to take her venture to a different level. So Shazia, tell me, what is your why? The corporate job was there, you were fine, good mota salary coming, फिर ये सब क्यों, क्या हुआ, what happened?
Great question, Parul. And I think people will call you nuts, right? If you tell that you were earning fat and big, and
Hmm.
suddenly. But and again, I think it is COVID that taught me that money is not the thing, right? And it's actually a purpose. So I
Hmm.
found my purpose in one of the conversations I was having with my child, who was then
Yeah.
5 years old. We
Okay.
had moved back from London, and in I think 2 months of time, she just wanted to go back. She didn't want to stay here.
Hmm. Okay.
And the
Okay.
reason for that was when we go out, she would
Hmm.
see a lot of litter, people, passing on things, people,
Hmm.
just throwing things away. And she said, Mama, why are people, doing this, what they're doing? Why can't
Hmm.
they keep it clean? And
Hmm.
why so much plastic? So she saw a lot of plastic,
Hmm.
around, and she
Wow.
was not happy because in their Montessori back there, they were being taught of conscious consumerism, right from childhood. So
Right.
those kind of things is what, didn't really, appeal to her. And I
Right.
realized that, someone has to step up. And because I'm a
Right.
consumer myself from the beginning,
Yes.
I thought that why not spread it, right? So I am an
Right.
avid visitor to things like Kala Parishad, Soul Sante,
Hmm.
etc. 100. And I realized that these things were not present online that clearly. They
Right.
were there on
Right.
Amazon, they are there on a lot of things, but who, if you think of a brand, yourself, does something come to your mind as a one-stop shop for, say, sustainable products,
Right.
eco-friendly products, they're
Right.
verified?
Hmm.
I bet out of 100, maybe one can tell you that.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
we try to bring about that as a purpose for this enterprise to say
Hmm.
we are going ahead. We are going to promote such things. We're going to promote small, medium, big brands in that particular space, and
Hmm.
we will try and see if people make that choice, right? So
Hmm.
it's a learning curve for us as well,
Hmm.
and we are
Hmm.
already, I would say, we're struggling
Hmm.
because India is still not the market to be.
Hmm.
So we are a niche, but
Okay.
it's people who understand come to us and they happily adopt solutions from us because they feel
Hmm.
that they contribute that little bit
Hmm.
overall. So as
Okay.
simple as buying a toothbrush is
Hmm.
more than enough for
Hmm.
now.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But you have to try and keep on that, so
Okay.
you try and build on that habit and practice it more. Yeah.
Right, right. So Shazia, what are your products? What when we talk, what are your products? And this name is little unique. So why this name? If you spell it out and speak it out, why this name? What does it signify? Why did you keep this name for your company?
Yeah, so great question. And a lot of people ask me because the way we get spelled, or I would say pronounced as,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
upsiklo, upkitlo. And so we actually put a little icon on our website, which we have disabled for now
Hmm.
because some tech issues. But in our upcoming website, you will have that that the voice will play as to how to pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
My entire objective of doing this is because I am heavily into upcycling myself. I
Okay.
do a lot of upcycling. The products we use in our website also, if you see, we make bags, we make all kinds of material, whether it is
Okay.
lunch bag, messenger bag, etc., using upcycling
Okay.
methodology.
Okay.
So
Great.
I wanted to bring about that concept a little bit more into the mainstream.
Uh-huh.
That was the
Okay.
objective of choosing the name.
Right.
And of course, I didn't get the domain I wanted.
Yeah.
So I went with mixing English and Italian. So
Uh-huh.
cyclo in Italian means cycling, not the
Ah.
other cycling, but cycling, as a
Yeah.
process.
Yes.
And that
Got
is
it.
why I chose that name. So it's a conglomeration of Italian, and I love Italian food. So
So how
I
do we
am.
pronounce it? Speak it out once so our
It's
viewers can at least see.
upcyclo. Yeah, it's
Upcycling.
upcyclo.
Ah,
Correct.
fantastic. All right. So tell me certain things, like I'm sure as we were talking, one is the generic, challenges we as women face, right? Sometimes funding is a challenge. Sometimes people don't understand what you're doing. Sometimes people say, "Arey, tum unique thode hi ho, sabhi log kar rahe hain." That's one part of the story. But as a woman entrepreneur, as a woman especially, what were the challenges you faced and you were working? Especially I'm wanting to highlight something different here, because you are a working woman who was in corporate, then you started your own journey. And of course people, very very close people also to you, really sometimes say, I don't know, देख लो इसको एक साल करके चलेगा तो चलेगा, नहीं तो go back to corporate, right? So
Correct.
जब इस तरह के thoughts आते हैं लोगों के mind में and they speak it out also, I want you
Yeah.
to address here what happens to you genuinely, and how do you work on those emotions and still stand for what you believe in.
So I'll be very blunt, and normally I am like that. So and I don't sugarcoat, things. So first of all, I think that whole ecosystem of entrepreneurship has developed a whole lot in India, which
Yeah.
is a very positive, side of
Right.
things.
Mm.
However, when you see natural development and
Mm.
you see people coming and talking about it, and more funds getting made
Right.
to say the impact investors, there
Mm.
is also this problem that
Mm.
people don't understand the main ethos of why an impact
Okay.
investing,
Mm.
right? So on one side you see that a lot of people are talking about ESG compliance, for certain
Mm.
corporates,
Mm.
etc.,
Mm.
or the organizations that are looking at doing going for funding.
Mm.
But somehow, the whole process is very shaky. It's
Mm.
very process paper driven, right? It is not so practical, which I
Mm.
found it because I run a social enterprise. And for
Right.
me,
Mm.
social does not have to be only an NGO. It can be a very well for profit organization. It can very well have a business purpose.
True.
It can very
True.
well make money and be a sustainable business. So, my
Right.
objective is that if you are looking at investing, if you're
Mm.
looking at impact investment, please do look for scalable businesses that can actually hit mainstream, which I
Beautiful.
don't think ecosystem is providing right now.
Beautiful. Right way
Um,
of putting. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
and in terms of say as a woman, what I face challenges very typical when we are in B2B world, right? People sometimes don't take you seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Your looks are such that you're very sophisticated. You don't understand the local language. You don't understand how the traditional business works. So you know how that whole bhaiya kar do na, and like sir aap kar do na, kal hi aa jayega ye to. So we from corporates are a little more polished for that sort of industry, and I try and try to speak their language sometimes, but I don't think
Yeah.
I'm at it. So
Correct. I think that's
while, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think that's what you're saying, and I think I like to learn from that again. That whatever, and especially that's why I asked you this question, because a lot of people from corporate women, especially who are coming down and starting businesses, and are leaving their jobs. So two things here. What I learned from Shazia: number one, be mentally ready. It's nothing was hard. I'm sure even corporate, I know so many friends who are from corporate, my own family members are from corporate. It's not easy, even that's not easy, right? So it's just that as an entrepreneur, ye jo ek bug hota hai kuch karne ka, be ready. Only thing is, end of the day, it's you're happy that whatever hard work you're putting, it's for you, and that is what the
Yes.
result is coming, right? So that's one thing. Second, yes, I will say it in a different way, whether polished or not polished, but the point is, it's a different world. And when you are going for when you own a business, it becomes very different. It really becomes very different, because I know I run 2 to 3 businesses now, other than my passion of coaching and counseling. I have stood on the road and I've given pamphlets, and I felt very great about it. I never felt कि मैं कोई छोटी हो गई उससे, या things like that. So I really pick up this, Shazia, what you're saying, that if you are in a market, yes, to learn a local language is a great thing. To learn skills to talk, I believe that as an entrepreneur, आप multi skilled हो जाते हो. आप
Yes.
because you have to, because you have to be a seller, you have to be a promoter, you are the director, you are the founder, you are also going to pick up the call and do the marketing and sales for yourself, even if you have a team, right? So I think entrepreneurship teaches you multi skilled caps, which especially for women who are coming from corporate background, have to get into that shape, because
Yeah.
otherwise it becomes tough, because you're used to a certain kind of work life, right? Here it's
Yeah, and I
different.
think more than tough, it is more frustrating for you. You start judging yourself as a woman that you're not able
Right.
to do something, which
Yes.
is a typical women problem,
Yeah.
judging.
Yeah. So
So
as
you
I
said right that yeah, these are the kind of things that entrepreneurship teaches you.
Right. So, as an emotional empowerment coach, I always say that self love and self approval is the first thing as an entrepreneur. Again, you got to work on yourself, because
Yes.
when you are being successful, it is a separate world. Now you're starting something. There also, you gave 2 to 3 to 4 years in a corporate world to be and start your journey. Be not harsh to yourself, allow yourself to grow, give your business 2 to 3 years also, because
Yeah.
if you come that nahi nahi idhar to bas magic wand ho jayega, which you touched in the beginning, which is a very
Mhm.
important point, because let's be realistic. When you hit, as we say, when the rubber meets the road, it's a different ball game, right? I'm standing on the stand and telling the cricketers to play like that, do like that. Arey century maro, arey sixer maro. But jab aap ground pe jate ho, how are you playing the game? And are you keeping your mind, body, and soul intact, that you are still calm when there is a huge storm happening around? Is something you got to develop in, right? So,
Yeah.
Shazia, before we wind up, beautiful thoughts, and I think very dil se thoughts you have done, because with you, I want to really highlight so many women who are in corporate job, and they are like struggling there, and they are wanting, yaar nahi ho raha hai, or family nahi ho pa rahi hai, work life balance nahi ho pa raha hai. I just believe that jo karo, be happy in that. You have a great opportunity to start your own businesses, start your own your work. But as Shazia said, be ready that this is also another world, and where you might have to kind of struggle a bit, maybe
Yeah.
frustrating
A lot.
sometime. Yeah.
Yes.
But then be ready, end of it, when even as moms, when we give birth to a baby, we struggle a lot for 9 months, right? But when the product is out, you feel so great about it, right? So
Yeah.
I feel entrepreneurship is a beautiful journey. Be ready for that. So yes, before we wind up, Shazia, your message especially for the corporate women who are wanting to do something on their own, what's a positive message you would like to give to them? And when you struggled and you came out of it, or you're trying to come out of it, how do you do that, and what's your message to them?
See, my message is very clear and crisp is that find your purpose first,
Mm,
because if you have a goal, there is always a path to goal, and that path might not be so rosy.
right.
It might be very smooth as well. You never know, right? Depends on what your goal is and what you're trying
Right.
to achieve.
Right.
I think most importantly that I have taught myself very hard way is that
Right.
how do I stop monetizing my time every single day to say that hey, I could have earned that much, because just
Mm,
because I'm entrepreneur now, I'm rather shelling out money, right? Stop
right.
doing that, because I
Right.
think that is, and I've learned it really, really hard way. I'll
Mm,
admit it. So my message is, see your goal, but
mm,
when you're on that path, right,
mm.
enjoy your journey,
Very
because
nice.
when you enjoy it and then you reach your goal, I think the fruit that you will get is
Right.
really lot more, lot more with pleasure and satisfaction than you will frustrate yourself through the journey. You will do a lot of wrong things, and you will derail yourself quite a
Right.
bit.
Very
So I
true.
think that, and don't let these other issues and people saying things, and stop comparing, because I'm sure that, like me, if I tell that, okay, you know what, my colleague is sitting at some senior director position or
Mm,
VP of some organization,
yes.
right? So
Very
am
true.
I think we are in a very different boat altogether, right?
Yes.
And that ship might sail to another direction, whereas mine
Right.
might go to. So that whole thing that keeps me going is that sky and beyond is my limit, right? I'm not
Superb.
limiting myself. I'm trying to
Right.
create a legacy of my own, to say I have constructed this. It
Yes.
became so much. I exit or I stay in it. It's my call. End of the day, when I achieve some goals in my life. So
Perfect. Fantastic
this
answer,
was my.
Shazia. Fantastic answer. And you have just hit the nail right. And that's what I want, that never be wherever you are, be happy. If you're happy in a corporate world, nothing like it. Fine. But if you feel, as she very beautifully said, have your calling. I mean, have identify that, is this your calling? Is it just
Yes.
because you are tired of something, you want to start something? Is not the answer. But if your why is clear, and you are clear what you want to do, like with, for her it started with her child just questioning certain things, and she started thinking about it. So please do proper analysis, know your why, what you want to do. And yes, there is huge opportunity, but nothing is easy in life, trust me. A life is beautiful, we can make it simple, but don't think that anything in life is just a cakewalk, because it depends how will you kind of move on your self-worth and self-esteem. Only thing is, it can be complete cakewalk. As Shazia said, don't judge, don't compare, don't think that suddenly everything will be rosy. But we move with that, and then it can be very, very clear that even if you're having little tough times, tough days, you will know your why, and but you'll be connected, and you'll say, "Okay, yaar, I'll work towards it," right? So great, Shazia. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks a lot. And I think it's a big inspiration for corporate women out there, for women who are working, who want to start something on their own. This can be a great message, and this can be a great inspiration that, you can do things, but be ready that there is another world. And another thing, what you said beautifully, because I hear a lot of my friends talk about, who have left corporate world, they came into business. They were always, sometimes comparing that this one is reached there, that one has reached there, I would have been there. Trust me, it's a different world. Compare apple to apple, banana to banana, and orange to orange. It's a different world, it's a beautiful world, but you got to create your world than others, and not labeling it. So thank you so much, dear. And for my viewers, please, it's beautiful sharing. Like, subscribe, and share her video. Like, subscribe, and share the channel, because the idea is, can we reach out to more and more women out there, working women, women entrepreneurs, homemakers, people who are really contributing so much that they have their self-worth and self-esteem up. They can learn from the stories of these lovely women out there, and keep going on, and we can reach together to newer heights and encourage. So thank you so much. Thanks, Shazia, for being here.
Thank you, Parul, for having me. Have a wonderful day.
All the
Cheers.
best to you. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep rocking.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah,
Bye
cheers.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.